Liquor Talk, brand new episode starts right now. Welcome everybody to another edition of that Liquor Talk podcast. It's the podcast that tells you the more you drink, the better we sound. I'm your man, Victor. Be sure to subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe and tell a friend. But joining me today, she's podcasting out of New York. Right now, she's in the A, but she was nice enough to stop by, bring her point of view. She always has an interesting point of view. She is the host of Drea's Point of View. How you doing, Drea? And welcome to Liquor Talk.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing good, doing pretty good.
Yes, and thank you for being the first person I met at Afros and Audios to become on Liquor Talk.
Oh, that is such an honor. Thank you so much.
Listen, now I've known some people. I met some people I recorded with at Afros and Audios, but meet somebody and then have them on. You the first one, so I appreciate you. Cheers to you.
I'm rarely the first to do something, so thank you.
Cheers to that. And y'all, the drink of the week, drink for this episode is a tequila sunrise. So go ahead and make that.
Ooh, I love tequila sunrises.
Yes. The recipe is on my TikTok. Y'all can watch how I made it and stuff. So, but Drea, nevertheless, what you got over there?
This is a peach margarita.
A peach margarita. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. And it's strong. It's strong. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
That's what's up. As long as it's supposed to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now,
right.
Your podcast is very, very unique. You only do like 15 minutes and stuff.
10.
I'm like
10.
5, 10, 15 minutes, what 10 minutes, same thing. Look, by the time you order a pizza, our podcast is already done. By the time you go get your damn pizza, man, our podcast is already done.
Right.
I'm like, God damn it, now I gotta play this shit back because I missed some goddamn points. But your podcast is probably the only ones I've ever seen like that, though. So
you know what, though? Believe it or not, I came across about a handful of podcasts that are like that. I wanted to do a short form because when I was first introduced to podcasts, they were all long, and I said, "There's no way that I can sit up here and talk to myself for an hour." And then I came across some for 30 minutes. I said, "That's still a lot by myself." And I'm like, you know what? What could make mine stand out? So I wanted to do it 10 minutes or less. You could binge it all. I'm not taking up much of your time because everybody says, oh, I got to find the time. People have got to find the time to listen to me, which I find hard to believe. So I'm like, okay, let me just keep it short and sweet. And if you can get some out of it, cool.
Yeah, I feel you. I tried that at first, but the conversations I be having be too damn good. I'm like,
but you know what, though? You have interviews. So that should be long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'm not going to sit up here and talk to myself for an hour. Not going to happen, Victor. I can't do it.
Believe it or not, there are some people that, now I ain't gonna lie to you. I tried to do an episode, which was like episode 60 of me. I tried that shit. It was only for 30 minutes. So I totally feel
How'd it go? How'd you like it?
I said, yeah, this shit is boring. It's like,
but is it hard to do by yourself for 30 minutes?
Yes, it definitely is hard to do by yourself for 30 minutes. So I understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, think about it though. Most people just off the podcast, they talk a lot. Very few people do you find just don't really say much. Everybody's talking a lot. So it's like if I could be that one person that doesn't talk too much, but you really pay attention to, I'm good.
That's real.
Yeah.
So was that the inspiration behind why you wanted to do a podcast?
A coworker told me about podcasts. I knew nothing about it. She told me about some podcasts that she listened to. So I said, okay, let me look into it. And being that I used to be in radio, I'm like, you know what? I could definitely talk. And I'm like, you know what? Let me find my niche. Let me try and make mine a little different. What could I talk about? Because I didn't want to be one of those. Some people only talk about one topic. I'm like, now that's boring to me. There's no way I'm going to get up here and just talk about the same thing every episode. So how could mine be different? That's why I have so many in a week. I make them short and I make them sweet. So yeah, it just stuck. Now at the beginning, when I first started, because I'm in my 6th season on hiatus, it'll be going into the 7th. When I first started, I didn't stick to that 10. I went over that. And I'm like, yeah, see, I'm all about consistency. So it wasn't until maybe the 2nd or 3rd season that I started getting into that stick with 10-minute stuff. And it seemed to work. The people my followers who listen, they love it.
Yeah. I feel you that I definitely feel you on that stick to consistency because the first 2 seasons of Liquor Talk, I had a co-host, but then about episode 100, episode 70 of Liquor Talk, I started having more people on, and most of my listeners, they started to really like the fact that I had many different people on every week. So I feel you on that. So that's why I just roll with it. So that's why you go through my catalog, it's not guest appearances, because you know what? You got to ride with what works. You know, you got to ride with a hot hand.
Right. Did you have you interviewed though, right? You interviewed when you had your co-host?
When I had the co-host, we just chopped it up.
Just
we just talked about whatever was going on and stuff. So but what I found more is I did like the interview format because I'm like, you know, it's something different. The only time I don't do interviews is if it's a returning guest or if it's the fellas, you know. So it's probably the only 2 times you won't hear an interview format. So
it works for you though. Some people aren't good at interviews. It works for you.
Yes, it definitely works. Definitely works for me, and it definitely short form works for you. So I was listening to your podcast, and then what's funny is after I got done listening to that podcast, I saw an ad for damn Southwest. I'm like, ain't this some shit? I'm like, they talking about this $49 one way. I'm like, right. They want to try to get you on the slide as if they didn't cause that damn meltdown or all them damn delays.
You know what? I can't even imagine. But you know what? Every airline has had that. However, I can't imagine being stranded with no bags.
Stranded with no bags? Oh, hell no.
A lot of people were stranded. They had this one guy I saw in the news. He was stranded for, now see, this was on him. He was stranded for, I think he said a week with no bags. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, now, unless he was moving, he could have found another option, another airline, taken the bus. There's no way I'm going to be stranded for at least a week. So he missed all the holidays waiting around for a bag.
You stranded on, yeah, that's definitely on you. Because for that reason is why I will never check a bag. I will just carry the damn bag.
Same. Yeah.
I've never had to check in a bag. I've always carried it on because the bag says I knew wherever I was going, I won't gonna be there for a long period of time. So I always just checked it in for that damn reason. Because I can't imagine being somewhere.
Can you imagine? A week.
No.
Not a few days, but a week.
A goddamn week without your bags. that is ludicrous, man. Right. I hope that man got a refund for that.
You know what? I read up on, it's a lot of rules, a lot of stuff, what they're supposed to give you when they mess up your bags and when you have flight issues. So yeah, he definitely should have at the very least gotten that much. I don't know if he got, if they compensated him for hotel and stuff, but yeah, he was really, they showed him two different times I saw him. I said, that poor man. But it was crazy for hundreds of people. It was, I just can't even imagine. And I travel often. I just can't, after a day or two, I'm going to be looking for another route. I just, I can't.
Yes, you definitely got to look for another route. And also, now shifting from traveling to your season 6 finale, which I checked out as well. And
okay.
I 100% agree with you, like, because so many people talking about New Year's resolutions every year.
I didn't want to do it.
It's like, you have to be the bearer of bad news. I definitely agree with that because everybody talks about New Year's resolutions. But my question to those people is, what happens when adversity strikes? What happens when something fucked up happens in your life? You know, are you going to stick to those New Year's resolutions or are you going to revert back to your old ways?
Now, you know what I did decide to do this year, though? This is listening to 2 other podcasters. I decided to make quarterly goals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could probably do that. I could try and do that. But to say, oh, this year I want to, I plan on losing so-and-so pounds. And then 2 weeks in, or this year I want to do something, financially. And then 2 weeks in, quarterly. They said it's easier, so I'm going to try it. This is my first year trying that. But I didn't want to do what everybody else did. I looked at everybody's finale, and they were all long. I didn't want to do that. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep it short and sweet and just talk about what I talked about.
I feel you. I definitely feel you on that. And and like I said, it works for you. Like, what have you learned? What have you learned about podcasts? Because you over 300 episodes in, and when we went to the podcast festival, which is Afros and Audios, they celebrate me for 200.
I am so happy for you. I was so happy for you.
I was happy too, but then when you realize there are people that did 300 and 400 episodes, I'm like, God damn.
Right. Well, you know what? Yours, they really had to like, though. I mean, they could have chosen anyone's, but there was something about yours that resonated with them.
Ooh, damn.
Because I had 2 something too, maybe, right? Or close to 3. But obviously they had to resonate why they pick you. So that's you know.
Yeah, you know, that's an interesting perspective. I'm glad you flipped that perspective, though. You know, so what have you learned in the time that's taken to do all the episodes? What have you learned about yourself through podcasting?
I definitely have to be more patient with myself and really be consistent, because everyone's not going to support you. Everyone's not going to listen to you. You could tell anybody about it. You could tell your friends about it. They may or may not listen. You may not get the support, but consistency has always been my thing. And plus, to me, it's like, I started my podcast during COVID. And it's one of looking at what everybody else did during COVID. Some people worked on their, degrees. Some people had kids. That's my baby. I wanted to do something that I didn't stop. I had a bad habit of starting stuff and not finishing. So if I can continue to do this and stay consistent, because I strive on being consistent. Everybody who knows me, if they know nothing else, they know I'm consistent. So if I could keep at that, then I'm good. But it definitely takes patience, because everybody wants high numbers, high followers, high downloads, but it's up to you to kind of look past that. If you really want to do something, you'll stick with it. And without worrying about the numbers, because you always look at the numbers. You do. I looked at them at first, but I think it's kind of a hindrance for me to really think, okay, well, I don't have this, so maybe I should. I can't really look at that, because if you think about it, just in general, if somebody takes the time out to hear what you have to say, that's important. If you can reach and resonate 1 or 2 people, so be it. Some people may have so-and-so downloads and listeners, but think about it. Look at their topics. I don't really choose to talk about what everybody else talks about. Clickbait, hot topics. I choose to talk about other things. Yes, I could talk about what everybody else talks about, but what would make me stand out with that? So it's just really, I think more people, it's kind of like at work. You got some people who choose to work hard. They have a strong work ethic. And then you have those who just are just there. I've always had a strong work ethic. I've always considered myself to be a consistent person. So I just stick with it. Plus, I don't want to add another thing to my list that I tried and failed.
Damn, I totally feel you on all of that, you know what I'm saying? Because I started this podcast. The real ones know I started a YouTube channel back in college. Well, adversity hit, but guess what? I kind of said the hell with it, because looking at the numbers, I got discouraged by the numbers. So it took time, and I rebranded. And guess what? I said to myself, if I rebrand and do this thing, we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna keep pushing and not look back. And I fought through adversity, and we still here. And that's the key, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't get nothing from this episode, is find something that you can keep going with, even through adversity, because I've had some dark days in my personal life, and I'm like, you know what? I just thought about saying to hell with it, but hey, we still here though.
Right. It does get tough. Like I said, especially when you look at the numbers, like, oh, not too many people listen to that. But you know what? When you go back to it, like I would say, I went back to my numbers the other day because my anniversary is coming up. So I looked at the numbers from different seasons. And it's interesting how many downloads I've gotten from previous seasons. So I'm like, okay, I did have a lot of people in. So I'm trying to get that back. I'm thinking about reverting back to some of the topics that I talked about in my earlier seasons. But I don't know. I just don't get caught up on numbers.
Yes. Please don't get caught up on numbers, because that's the easiest way to get discouraged. So
it's just like on social media, people get caught up with followers.
Yep.
That's
true. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. So go ahead and pump that liquor if you haven't done so already. And ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and make yourself a tequila sunrise. That is the drink. And even make this week, like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend and tell another friend. So that being said, Drea, what is your favorite drink? What's your favorite alcohol?
Ooh. Okay. I want to say my go-to when I go out is a margarita. Mm-hmm. But I have learned some recent ones during COVID. My friend introduced me to, it's a apple crown and ginger.
Apple crown and ginger. Ooh. I gotta try
that. They're whiskey sour. Mm-hmm. Can't really go wrong with Bailey's. Come on.
yes, you really can. Bailey's and some coffee, yeah, that'll get you right.
Anything sweet though. I'm a sweet girl. I can't do the hard stuff like hen. I tried it. Can't do it. But
what if somebody made Hennessy a sweet form? Because there's a way you can blend it just right where you don't taste the Hennessy.
How?
Hey, I would say like a strawberry lemonade and Hennessy, like something like that.
If it's sweet, yeah. But when I first tasted it, somebody told me, I was at a Christmas party, matter of fact, a few years ago. Somebody brought in a Hennessy because they didn't serve it. So somebody brought it in and they put a little Coke in it. I took one sip. I couldn't. It put hair on my chest.
Said one sip?
It put hair on my chest. I couldn't do it. I couldn't see how people drink it like that. It was disgusting. But I'll think about it. I'll try that. You said
one sip. She said one sip. Oh damn! So I couldn't imagine you taking a straight shot of Hennessy.
That's it. I couldn't do it because when it goes down, that's still strong. You can't tell me it's not strong though.
You're right. It is strong. It's strong as hell. You're right.
So yeah, I'll try. I might try it with something sweet. I might.
Yeah, you gotta try with something sweet. The next time you go out the country though, you gotta get the white Hennessy though, because the white Hennessy is not so bad.
Have I think I've seen that, to be honest. I think I have seen it, but I'm like, okay, it's still Hennessy. But okay, white Hennessy is better.
Yeah, the white Hennessy is not as harsh because I ended up getting it and I tried it with a friend, and me and my friend both said the same thing that white.
Do I mix it? Should I mix that with something or no?
We mixed it with Sprite. It wasn't so bad.
Okay.
Just a drink suggestion. Hennessy ought to pay me for this shit,
Right.
I'm around here promoting y'all drinking stuff.
That's too funny. But yeah, okay. Yes. I'll make note of that. All right.
Yes, please make note of that. Now I know you from New York and stuff, so
I live in Cali. I live in Cali though.
How are you in New York but you live in Cali?
You know that. Remember I told you?
I remember you telling me that, but you ain't tell the people that. Now, how does a girl from Cali, New York, wind up all the way in California? That's
what? I was ready for a change after I graduated because I went to school in the South, HBCU, and after that, I've always wanted to live in out west. Mm-hmm. And you all right?
Yeah, we good.
I always wanted to live out west, just for the vibe and being a creative. I wanted to try some stuff. And I just moved out there, right outside of LA. You can't really beat the weather because one main reason is my health. This light keeps falling off. My health is better there, believe it or not, because I got sick a lot in the cold. So I had to live somewhere where it was, warm. So my health is better if nothing else. And so it just stuck for now. I'm not saying that's going to be my end place, my place. I eventually would like to move out of the country, but for now, that's where I am.
You and me both. I would love to just go live out the country because I be seeing so many places. Like I'm just like, wow, that's amazing. Like, well, what affects is like, how do they treat Black people? That's the main thing.
There are a couple of groups that I've joined, and there's a couple of groups on Facebook as well. Expats in wherever you're thinking about going, and they talk about life in other places. Now, no place is going to be perfect, no matter where you move. But there are some places where you're still treated different. Like recently, I went to Ecuador. I don't know if you listened to that episode. And there are Afro-Ecuadorians, first off. There are. So I didn't feel out of place. I felt very welcome, welcome. Yeah, I felt very welcome there. And that's actually on my list, but of course I got to get a little more fluent with Spanish. But
Don't we all?
but still, I felt very welcome there. And of course, they always say Africa. I've been there. I actually plan on going back this year. I'll see what all the hype is about. I'll see what everybody's talking about. There are a couple places though that are, that are anywhere. I would think just about got to be better than here, because this place is really a shithole.
Yes, it is. It's a shithole.
Since COVID, especially, I've noticed a change in how I've been treated going different places. Certain places I used to go pre-COVID, I don't go because of how I'm treated. So, but yeah, I would think anywhere, pretty much, almost anywhere out of the States, you would feel welcome.
Damn, we're gonna have to travel, because I said the same thing. Yeah. Like, now I know you told me you from Buffalo. How does it feel? I know you're a big sports fan now. How does it feel being from Buffalo but living amongst all these LA people?
Believe it or not, Bill's Mafia is everywhere. They live all over. There's a lot of transplants in LA too. I don't really think anything of it, really. I don't. And first of all, let me say, LA is a big ass place. It's not what everybody thinks or sees on TV. Everybody's not fake, phony, and full of shit. There are some.
That's definitely true. I definitely agree with you there, because I visit LA and I'm like, damn, I wouldn't mind living out here.
There are some real people there. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anything of it. Like I said, I'm mainly there because, my health is better. I'm enjoying that sunshine. I don't really complain. I don't know. It's a different vibe when I come from the East Coast, and as soon as I land, it's like it just feels like a weight is just lifted off me. Because the vibe is definitely different on the East Coast and the West. There's definitely a difference.
Yes, there's definitely a difference.
A lot of people don't. There's still a lot of, it's still a big difference, West Coasters, most of them, they have this like, oh, la, la, la type. I'm not like that. I never have been like that. You just take me as I am. But yeah, it's cool. Like it's cool for now, I'll say.
Yeah. I know you were celebrating when the Bills beat the Rams on week 1. I ain't gonna lie. I was laughing about behind. I was laughing so hard.
I was surprised. I was kind of surprised. We are doing really good.
I was laughing so hard when that happened. I'm like, you know what? It's so funny.
And the Rams aren't even in the playoffs at all. So
yeah,
they had their moment. They had their moment.
Yeah, they had their moment. Now, yes, they had their moment. Now, I looked at who my hometown team, my Bucks, are playing next year. And I'm like, and I see we got to play the goddamn Bills. So you might be able to take me to Buffalo with you. You might be able to take me to Buffalo.
Let me tell you, depending on the time of year, because we don't have a dome.
I know y'all don't have a dome.
I don't do those games that don't have a dome. Every time I've gone to a game, it's been before it got cold. I don't play those games. So you'll be on your own if you want to go to a game after October. You're on your own.
Hey, I agree with that. Girl, I live in Florida, so I definitely agree with you on that. I love the Buccaneers, but I'm not about to sit in the goddamn snow to watch the Buccaneers.
I can't believe when I saw that game. Can't think of who they played. I can believe, but I can't believe how deep that snow was, and those people just sitting there like they're on a beach.
They really were.
I was cold just watching it. I'm like, yeah, no. That's why I left.
I was cold just watching it, and also seeing all that snow on the car. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't miss those days. I don't miss that at all. Well, of course, as a kid, you like it. There's a different taste as an adult. Let me tell you, it's not pretty as an adult dealing with that snow and cold. But yeah, I don't go as much as I used to. I might go maybe once, twice a year, but it's not during the winter. I know better than that.
Now, if the Bills make it to the Super Bowl, you going? The Super Bowl's in Arizona.
I know it is. I'm not going for 2 reasons. One, I don't like Phoenix at all. That's kind of...
Wait, what's wrong with Phoenix?
Kind of racist. My experience. It's. I don't like the vibe.
Interesting? You say that, and I had a friend of mine years ago. They were trying their hardest to get me to move out to Phoenix, but I'm like, wow, I never thought I'd hear Phoenix.
Plus that, I mean, you going from one type of heat to another. That's desert. That's a different. That's. I don't think you. Nah. Plus, we just talked about before this. The tickets, sir. No, I've always either volunteered for a Super Bowl or I've gone to the events. I have never gone to a Super Bowl and I refuse to pay $1,000 for a seat. Now, if I got a chance to volunteer at the Super Bowl, if we could, possibly. Of course, because I want to see us. I want to see us at the Super Bowl. But to spend thousands of dollars for a seat, absolutely not. No.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that. Because I said the same thing. If my Bucks ever made it back to the Super Bowl, I'm like, I would probably never do it. And unfortunately, the damn Bucks made it to Super Bowl during COVID. I'm like, shit.
Oh yeah.
They would. Y'all asses would make it to the Super Bowl.
Let me ask you this: what is the most you would pay for a Super Bowl ticket?
Oh shit! The most I would pay.
Because I remember how much those tickets were this past year when I volunteered. And I'm like, I asked everybody, even people I knew with money, if they would go. They said, I could afford it, but I'm not going. So how much would you pay for a ticket?
If it's anything over 500, they can have it.
Oh, you're not going. You'll be in a parking lot. You definitely wouldn't.
I knew it.
No, there's nothing. There is nothing. Nothing. Well, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, because Florida, it's Florida. They might get the tickets that low. But in Cali, the cheapest ticket was $3,000. So,
damn.
And that wasn't even
you
a good
ticket. It up and then the nosebleeds, it was $3,000?
It had to have been, because that's the cheapest. So, but like I said, that's when you volunteer, Victor.
Well, the next time a state in Florida, a city in Florida, hosts a Super Bowl, I'll volunteer. I'm like, damn.
Volunteer, you'll be there all day. You'll be there all day though, but at least you're not paying.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be there all day though,
On your feet, concessions. Because when I looked, they were wanting people for concessions all day though. They wanted you there early that morning, and then you leave right after. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, no. So I just volunteered at the airport. I was good.
Yeah, and also hold on, I remember that too because I remember a couple years ago that raised a big fuss on Twitter when Atlanta had the Super Bowl at the brand new stadium. How they were asking for volunteers and stuff, and how nobody wanted to go because you're not paying them, and then there's a lot of traffic and stuff you got to deal with.
I met some of those volunteers. I met some of them, the ones at the airport. That you get a lot of swag for volunteering. You don't get a ticket, obviously, but you get a lot of swag for it. You get hat. They did in Atlanta. We got some good stuff too, but they got a lot in Atlanta. Jackets, nice jackets too, not no cheap looking jackets, hats, backpack. And they do give you a ticket to some event because they gave us a ticket to go to the convention center to see some museum type stuff. It was a good deal. It was a really good deal. But yeah, just know that you will be on your feet for a minute.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have that happen unless I'm going to the game,
Okay. Yeah, I don't. It's $3,000 at the least for a ticket for a day.
Nah. Look, the only way you might get me to go is if they paying me to speak there. If I'm doing something with the damn Super Bowl, like if
you hosting your podcast,
hell yeah, give me a voiceover spot or something, because for a Super Bowl, look, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I love y'all, but if y'all ever get back to the Super Bowl, I'm not paying no damn $3,000.
You know what they need to do, and I'm dead ass serious about this. You know how they have that? What is that? It's like a firm and what is it? Karma? Where you pay in installments.
Oh, the Afterpay.
There you go. But think about it. You have that. Everything else you could do that for. Concert tickets, sporting, you could do that for everything else. But they don't have that for the Super Bowl. Why not?
Oh, damn. I never realized that.
Because I looked. If they had that, I definitely check. Because, imagine living in a city and you can't go. Remember when it was in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
I lived in Jacksonville at the time. I went to some of the events, but it was a shame I couldn't even go. You lived in a city and can't even go.
Damn. And I remember that.
What's that?
And I remember that. I remember that year too, where the damn Patriots asses motherfuckers were winning all this shit. And,
My goodness.
And I think Jacksonville is the one city in Florida the NFL don't like because they haven't been back to Jacksonville since.
Yeah. True.
It's been Miami and Tampa hosting all the Super Bowls. Jacksonville hosted that one, so I don't know what they did up in Duval.
Right. I'm going to tell you though, I remember that night. It was freezing. Florida does get cold. I don't know what people think. Just like Cali, Florida gets cold.
Yes, Florida does, motherfuckers. Yes, Florida does.
It was cold for me that night. I remember coming back from an event. And here's the crazy thing about it. I didn't drive because obviously, I mean, you know, the less cars in that area, the better. So I took the bus there and I was like, okay, I'll just get a taxi or something back. I can't tell you how long I waited to get a taxi back and how I froze waiting in the process. Yeah, it was cold. Florida gets cold.
Yes, Florida gets cold to all you motherfuckers that always when you coming down here. All you damn snowbirds and shit always coming down here, you know.
Yep.
Y'all think Florida don't get cold? I remember I worked with somebody. He said, I came down here to avoid the cold. Motherfucker, it gets cold here. It might not snow, but it damn sure gets cold.
Right. But you got to figure, though, overall, though, you got nice weather, just like Cali. So you can't really complain much, you know?
The one thing I can't complain about is always the damn Florida man did something in the news that's just outlandish.
Yeah, Florida's special.
Yeah, Florida man this, Florida woman that. I can't complain
Florida's
about that.
Florida's special.
Yes, Florida is special. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Go ahead and subscribe if you have done so already. Tap in with Drea as well if you haven't done so already. Also, I got to give a quick shout out to the crew from Podfest. Shout out to them. They hooked you up. They looked out for yours truly. So yours truly will be at Podfest. And if I met you at Podfest, go ahead and tap in with me. I appreciate you tapping into Liquor Talk. So yours truly will be at the Podfest because it's not like going to another podcast festival. So
I know. You know what? I'm planning on going to the one in Vegas in March.
I might have to look into that too.
Yeah, you got to go to Vegas just because it's in Vegas. But yeah, I definitely plan on going to that one because I haven't been to that one. That's the only one.
I've never been to that one either.
Yeah, that's the only one I've ever been to. So I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, listen. I might if I go out there, I'm not gambling though. Vegas, you got me fucked up, Vegas. You got me fucked up, Vegas. I'm not about to bet my whole house and bet my life savings.
Wait a minute. Why don't you do sports bets? That's what I do. That's what I do. You don't have to play a lot. Oh,
damn, you got me. God damn.
But you know what? You don't even have to play a lot on the tables and stuff. Because I don't do tables, but I always walk past to see what the minimum bet and stuff is. You don't have to. You don't have to be a high roller at those tables.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought too. I'm like, okay, you got to be a high roller. That's why I always stayed away. But I walked past the last time I was there a few months ago to see, and it said minimum bet $5.
Hey, I might do the sports bet though, because I always say I might be able to hit the bets right, but you know, sometimes it always be the ones I'm like, shit, you know, they mess me up this damn beat. I'm like, damn.
There's so much, and I was surprised because I usually bet on NBA and NFL. When I was last there, I bet on boxing. There's so many. Do you know what's really good there? And I really didn't. Horse racing. They have so many horse race bets that you could bet on. I didn't even know. So just, you know, they said, just keep it in mind. You don't have to spend a lot of money on those bets.
I definitely gonna keep that in mind. So trending into some other things, the news besides gambling and stuff. You know, I heard this trend of people having dating questionnaires. Like somebody really said on social media that a woman sent them a dating questionnaire that they had to fill out before the person would even consider going on a date with them. I'm like, okay, we done got too much in this technology.
You are lying.
No, that ass. I saw it.
Did they fill it out?
I think they filled it out. They said, I'm like, what? I'm like, this person, I don't even know this person filled it out. They said this woman had a dating questionnaire. I'm like, what?
No, that's a bit much. That's a bit much. I'll answer your questions. I'll answer your questions to an extent. But we're not doing that. No.
Yes, we are definitely not doing that because look, I understand like having questionnaires and stuff because I do them for the podcast just to get an idea of who I'm talking to, but
Right.
to
Right.
have one if I'm going out with you, hell no.
Right.
The dating questionnaire is us meeting in person or talking on FaceTime and getting to know one another.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, and wait a minute. What about the constant texting back and forth?
I'm like, hey, as long as it's communication, I'm with it. You know, as long as it's productive communication, as long as we're really
So,
engaging one another, okay.
so you'll constantly text somebody before you meet them. You don't want a phone conversation, at least.
I could do both. I mean, I would love phone conversation, yeah,
Okay.
so that way they
Okay.
can hear my voice.
Yeah.
And also, I will do a FaceTime just to confirm I'm not.
People hate that FaceTime. People hate that. That's kind of a red flag for me.
Wait, people hate FaceTime?
I've met some people, and I read about it somewhere that people do not like that FaceTime. I asked this guy that once. I remember asking him that. I said, "What about if we FaceTime?" He said, "No, I don't really like doing that." That kind of rubbed me the wrong way because it's like, what are you hiding? I'm not trying to be nosy, but it's FaceTime. You could be in your kitchen for that matter. I'm not. So yeah, he didn't want to do that. So that was a red flag for me.
Yeah, I'd find that a red flag too if you don't want to do the FaceTime because that will confirm. That's me confirming to you that I'm not a catfish, and also.
No, go ahead.
That's also me confirming to you that I'm not a catfish and me seeing you for the first time person because what I found is when you do FaceTime, people will show one picture, but they look totally different. I'm like,
I heard about that. And I heard women are notorious for that. And that's a
yes,
shame.
they are.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Yes, they are.
That's crazy too. Why would I tell you I look like a certain thing and then we gotta meet? And then I look like something. That's a waste of time. I don't understand that. I don't get that. Guys, I've never had that experience with guys. Guys usually look like how they say they're gonna look. But women, I heard that they lie about their looks.
Yeah. And also what I found is some women from like the Midwest and stuff, they can be like very judgmental. Like I remember one chick. Yeah, I met one chick. She was calling me a catfish. Now she called me on a week where I didn't have a haircut, and she just was like,
"Oh no!"
I'm like, "Are you serious?" What's funny is a week later I went and got a haircut because I had to go to an event. So yeah, that's the funny part. I'm like,
oh wow!
If you would have just waited a week later
over a haircut, though.
Yeah, she called me a catfish because of a haircut, and I'm like,
you dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet. It's not even you dodged a bullet. That's just like somebody just because 1 week I don't get my eyebrows done, and then somebody calling me out on that. That's petty. That's petty.
That's so petty. No, you're right. I probably did dodge a bullet, but the thing is, she was from Ohio, so you know they think about Ohio sports. They all trash except for the 1 year LeBron took the Cavs to the finals.
You know what though? Cavs are hot now.
Yeah, give it to them though. They are pretty hot though.
Now. They're hot now with Donovan.
Yes, they are. They are hot. They're doing their thing. So
yeah.
But just for giggles though, if you ever decide to send a man a dating questionnaire, what would be the top question you ask?
See, I'm really big on love languages. So I definitely got to ask him what his love language is. I may ask him what I kind of like to get into the history of stuff, like his, not so much what you like to do. And I mean, yeah, you want to know that, your hobbies and stuff, but what are your turn-offs and turn-ons in women? That's important. Because some guys don't like women that talk a lot. Some guys don't like women that gossip. Some guys don't like women that smoke. So I need to know, I need to know that. Turn-ons and turn-offs. Not too much. It would be short. If I did a questionnaire, it would be short. I don't like asking too many questions, so I think that's kind of a turn-off. I'm not trying to interview anybody or, yeah. So it would be short if I did a questionnaire.
Yeah, I feel you on that. On my end, I feel like it'll definitely be short. I think the main question I'll ask is there an ex that's still tripping over you? Because I don't know what it is about sometimes my dating history, but every time I get involved with somebody that gets good, they running back to the ex. I'm like,
you know what? I saw this somewhere. Somebody was like, is there anybody that would be upset with us talking right now,
Mm.
be it a wife, a girlfriend, an ex, is there anybody right now? I don't know if it was their first date or what, but I remember seeing that somewhere where this lady asked the guy that. And I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad question to ask. And another thing I've noticed, how often do you ask, or not how often, but at what point do you ask if she's married?
Oh, you would figure that's to be something you'd ask from up front, right? Or that's something if you ever meet them in person, you can tell by their hands because sometimes they
No.
might be wearing a ring.
They may not be wearing it. You know, a lot of people, that's a big topic right now. A lot of people don't wear their rings, especially men. I've noticed this, and I need to get better at this. Lately, guys would ask me, you know, like just out and about, a guy would ask me if I'm single or whatever. You know, I'm married. That's one of the first questions they'll ask me, and I respect that. But I don't turn around and ask them that.
Yeah,
And I don't think a lot of women do. I mean, they could lie, but at least you asked up front. So I think that needs to be one of the first questions that is asked to someone.
Yes, you definitely need to ask that question because I found out a lot of people that let social media tell it. People are more willing to cheat out here because it feels like they all say the same thing. They all saying that married people they shooting up their 50 million shots. Meanwhile, single people just chilling. So
pretty much.
Which begs the question, like, what's the point in being with somebody if you got to go out here and try and find somebody else?
That's what I don't get. Now, here's the thing: if you do that, at least what is it? Polygamy?
Yeah.
At least have an open relationship. That's your business if you choose to do that. But at least make that known. That's what you about.
See, I've seen that happen too, but you know, I could tell a lot of men weren't happy in that because I saw the one thing of a man who was in an open relationship that he looked bitter as hell that his woman was getting the business. I could tell he made it sound like he could tell whenever the woman that got some from the other man, and he said it's just like so I'm looking at him like you just can't handle it. Huh?
Did he go out? Was he faithful?
I think he cheated first.
Guys handle that different. Guys handle cheating different than we do. They can't. I mean, it's like it really is a big thing in your ego when we cheat. It's really.
I really don't understand why that's the case because it's like damn if it is.
Right.
At this point, y'all both cheated, you know. So
right.
And I always heard that if somebody overreacts to the cheating, then they might take you back. But if they're calm and cool about it, they'd have moved on.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know, because I always heard that from somebody. They always were like, pay attention to how they handle conflict and stuff, because it's like
see somebody in all their seasons.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. See somebody in all their seasons, because one thing I've heard from people is if you see them mad and angry, they fighting to keep you around. But once they fall back and they just start chilling,
that makes sense.
They already moved on to something. Like, for example, if somebody say, "Oh, I cheated," and they don't react, oh, they cheating on God.
right.
Or if they finally discover that they know they cheated, because I've seen one case where somebody said, "Oh, I know you cheated," which is why I was sleeping with so-and-so in the back, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Speaking of cheating, I just got to share this. I find this very interesting. So, BET Plus. I'm watching these. Wait a minute. So I'm watching 2 movies last weekend. I don't know if it was by the same producer, but 2 Black women were the lead characters. They were both married. Both the women were married. And in both shows, their husbands cheated on them with their best friend.
Damn.
And I just find that interesting why I saw the same thing that weekend. And I'm like, so that's really what they're thinking of us? Like it was just very telling in a way. First off, it's like, okay, don't have your best girlfriend around your husband. Secondly, it's like, why has it got to be us to think about it? I don't remember a movie where I saw any other race, really. I was going to say white women, but I don't remember any too many movies where their spouse cheated on their best girlfriend.
You know, now that I think about it, you're right. It's just,
No, but it was
you,
us, and I just found it interesting.
I find that interesting, but I also find out that but I'm interested if it's a black director that I'm looking at them like they're crazy because why the hell you keep trying to portray us like this when that's not.
Yeah, I need. You know what? I should probably look it up just out of curiosity to see who the directors were.
Yeah, but so what is your advice to people who can't handle cheating? Don't cheat or just move on?
It's not a deal breaker to some people. It is to me. That's it, because I can't trust you anymore.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
think when the trust is gone, you should leave.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine my spouse cheated on me. And you've got a lot, especially with celebrities, their spouse cheats and they have a cheat baby. But you cheat with me, that would be it. If you have that patience and that faith for somebody enough where cheating's not enough, then go for it. But you got to have boundaries. That's my boundary.
You definitely got to have the boundaries. Got to have the boundaries. And if somebody don't respect your boundaries, you got to tell them to get to stepping. Or maybe some people settle because they're scared that the dating pool is trash.
Right. I mean, especially to have a kid out of it. Like, I could. That takes a big person to accept somebody who cheated and has a kid. Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, that definitely takes a big person. I couldn't do it either.
No, I'm not doing that. No.
I
don't know somebody with kids in the first place, especially after you cheat and have a kid. That's it. We're through.
Yes. If you cheat on me and have a kid, we're through. If you cheat on me and I find out you got an STD, get the step.
Right.
Because you ain't about to give me no damn STD from you. Hell no.
Right.
Hell to the no.
Yeah, some people, but yeah, I just read that today. That I think it was on Twitter. That cheating is not the end all for some people. Some people, they don't really, they'll forgive. They'll let them cheat once. Yeah, once is enough.
You know what I think about those people? I think if they let you cheat once, they probably cheating on you 1,000 times behind your back. Because women are better at hiding shit than us men. So
yeah, I'll admit to that. We are.
Yeah. Y'all might be better at hiding for us, but y'all still human though. And if it's meant for us to find out, y'all will get caught slipping.
Yeah. I'll admit to it. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Support that liquor wherever you at, because I sound a whole lot better no matter what you drinking. Now, I saw this on Twitter this morning. I'm like, are you serious? So get this. I think a wife deleted her husband's YouTube account, his YouTube channel off YouTube.
What?
Mind you, the husband had like 600,000 something followers or subscribers. Whoa. And she gets mad and deletes the account. What the hell is up with people marrying someone who doesn't believe in their vision?
Whoa. Okay, so she deleted his account because was it because what?
I think he was a content creator on YouTube, and I don't know what it was, but all I saw was she deleted his account because he had 609, and he had 609,000 followers. I'm like, are you serious?
There's a lot of insecure people out there, and most of them happen to be in relationships.
Yes. If you're gonna be insecure, then you don't need to be in a relationship.
Right. Like you hear about it all the time. So and so winning my phone, and you see it all the time online. Well, so and so winning my phone, and da-da-da. I'm like, anybody can really go. I don't have anything to hide. My employer can go through my phone. I don't have anything on there that's discriminating, so I'm good.
Hell yeah, I ain't got nothing. I don't talk shit about y'all anyway. Go through it. I can care less. Hey.
I don't have any nude pics, any of that. So I'm not, if you're not hiding anything, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. But my question is this: could you come back from something like that if your significant other does something of substantial like that, like something you've been working hard, they just throw it in the trash, or they just trash it? That's hard to come back from.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's woo. Yeah, that. But you know what, though? I wonder if she had suspicions about something. Because I can't see you just doing that just to be doing it. I wonder if she was, some people have their doubts and suspicions about certain things. Like, say if their spouse is gone a lot at night, or they do something that they don't usually do. I wonder if she had her reasons for it. I doubt she just decided to do that. There had to be some kind of reason behind that. Not like it makes it any, right.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he gave her a reason. Because who knows who those followers. I doubt all those followers because of his content.
Yeah, you know what? They didn't say what his content was, but I saw that. I'm like, wow, you know what? That tells me right there, if you did something like that, you don't believe in my vision.
Right.
You don't believe in what I'm trying to build, because don't you not see these little babies making money, millions of dollars off YouTube, while some of our asses have to go to a 9-to-5 job? Come on now.
That's important to me, though. My partner or spouse believing in my vision. That's important for me.
Yes, that's important to me too.
Some people say, oh, well, be your own cheerleader. No, damn that. My partner has to be supportive. Support is so important. You want your friends to support you. You want your family to support you. But the person that you're spending a lot of time with, you should want to support you. Why not?
Yes. Why not? Like, look, I tell people straight up, yes, I'm a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
It would mean a lot to me if you show some support,
Yep.
if you give me drink recipes, or hell, if more importantly, if you're sharing it on social media before we blow up and stuff. That would tell me a lot about you, because you do it for me, I do it for you.
Right.
You're my cheerleader, I'll be your cheerleader too. We got to ride for each other.
Right.
And if you're willing to do that because you're angry with me, you know what? Then you need to go.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even give you that liberty. I wouldn't even leave my shit open around you to where you could even think to do something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that brother like, what the hell were you doing to even leave your shit open to where she could hack it and delete it?
Right. Yeah,
you had to have known that this person is spiteful like that. Because I think sometimes people can show you signs of what they're really capable of within. I think you could tell.
No kidding. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. That's
because look, if you did that to me, I'm like, look, and I'm married to you. Oh, give me them divorce papers.
Right.
Please just hand me the divorce papers and let's get going.
Yeah, trust in relationships is huge.
Yes, trust and relationship is huge, and and it be the main people that don't trust nobody that be out here cheating. That's the crazy part.
Right.
Y'all know, and I'll be looking at some of these brothers like, now damn well if this woman did to you, you'd be you lose your shit. But
right.
Like you just said, it's like so many people can't handle what they put out. Then don't put it out.
Nope. Yeah.
A
lot of broken people out there, though, Victor. Seriously, there's a lot of broken people out here.
Yes, there really is a lot of broken people out here, and like I don't even know what to tell them because we all broken it somehow. But you know what? The real ones. They don't let the brokenness stop them. They don't let the fact that someone else did this to me gonna stop me from being right with you.
Agreed. I agree. You're right.
And also, you also got to take time to go to the therapy. I've said that a lot on the podcast. I've stressed mental health and doing things. And if you got to take yourself out of the game for a little while to get yourself right, then do what you got to do. But just don't bleed on someone else.
Right. They say that hurt people stuff. But that's definitely true. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with being alone for a while to get yourself together. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean it's not fun being alone sometimes, but hey, I'd rather just go ahead and chill.
Be alone. Better be alone in a bad company though, because I've been there with the situationships and all that stuff. No, be alone.
Yes, I'd rather just chill with being alone because you realize there are so many broken people, and you can tell that they're broken. Yeah. And also, they quick to go back to the person that broke them. I'm like,
oh, I know. I don't do that. I don't go back in the trash once I emptied it. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good on that too. It's like I had that thought. I had that temptation. Like
we all have. We all have.
You think about the stuff that you realize.
And I was like, oh no, I'm good.
Yeah, and it's like you always have that temptation to want to maybe hit them up and see how they're doing. But then I'm like, for what?
You know what? I did that a few months ago. There was some kind of storm or tornado in the city where this guy lived, and he didn't get. I asked, just out of common, care for a person. I sent him a text to check on him. He never got back to me. So I'm like, oh, okay, well. But you think that as a human being, you still care. I mean, I can't imagine, once you care about somebody that you just hate, you just have that hate for somebody. You may have a strong dislike, but to carry that hate around and to have that hate for that's not healthy. That's not good.
Yeah, that's definitely not good. And, you definitely just got to go seek healing for that. That's just a
Mhm.
sign that,
Yeah.
and psychologically, that person is winning over you, and they're not even doing nothing. Like they're not even thinking a damn about you, and you
Nope.
over there tripping about them.
Right. They're
That's
running rent free through your head.
yes, they live rent free
Yeah.
through your head and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what? And the longer y'all hold on to that person, then
Yeah.
the longer it's gonna keep you from meeting somebody new.
Right. That blocks your blessings. You're right.
Yes, people, you gotta start blocking your blessings because it is
Mhm.
2023. I still find that hard to believe. Goddamn, we really in
I know,
2023.
right? It went quick. But you know what? 2022 was crap, so I'm glad it went quick. So hopefully
Agreed.
23 will be much better for all of us.
Yes, that's the one thing I'm hoping for with 2023.
Woo.
It's just a whole lot better for us,
Yeah.
because it's just been crappy for everybody. I've
Mhm.
seen people getting the physical abuse and the verbal abuse, and I'm just
Oh, geez.
like, it's just crazy. Like, I saw a quote the other day that said, "A woman's verbal abuse is just as bad as a man's physical
It
abuse."
is. It hurts like a fist. Words hurt like a fist.
Yes, why don't people realize that words and
Yeah.
they both hurt,
Yeah. You don't forget what somebody says. I mean, you don't forget words. You got people who are still living on what people told them as a kid. So, as an adult that you don't forget. Yeah, it's that verbal to me, is worse.
Yes, it's definitely worse, because it's like it's nothing. It does hurt hearing a woman just come at you and just say something sideways. Like I
Right.
remember I had a co-host say something like very disrespectful to me right while we were recording. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that may have been a sign
No.
for me. Yes,
Really?
episode 82 of Liquor Talk. I had a co-host. Yes, I had this co-host say something very.
Now I'm
very
gonna go back and
fucked up
listen
me.
to it too because I want to know. No, you don't have the episode. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
you got to dig deep for that episode, but that
Like,
co said something fucked up to me, and that was a red flag in my
how'd
mind.
you handle it? What did you do?
I just handled it cool. I handled it cool and cordial. I said, let me just get through the episode. But
Okay.
after I got done recording, I played it
I
back.
bet.
I said, you know what?
I
I
bet.
said to myself, Victor, we got to get rid of her. We got to find a way to get rid of
Okay.
her. We got to
Okay.
just
Okay.
tap in and have more guest appearances.
82. I'm gonna listen to that.
We gotta find a way to get her off, because you know what? If she just doesn't have respect for you to say something like that,
Did other people say something to you about it?
At the time I didn't have that many listeners, so I think the only person that may have noticed was my little sister, so
Okay.
but I definitely noticed that, you know what, this person is definitely hurting, and it's like, you know what, and you can't have enough respect for me to,
Right.
kind of keep some of your hurtful thoughts to yourself. And I'm sharing my platform with you. Yeah, you
right. I'm telling you, people don't realize what it's like being invited into someone's home. When someone invites you on their podcast, when someone invites you to their home, when someone invites you, period, you respect that space. That's important. That's so. Oh my goodness! It's like when you asked me, it's such an honor and a privilege because you didn't have to invite me. You could have invited somebody else, and that's of course that's your prerogative. But to be invited to something is a blessing. Seriously, it really is.
Yes, and
you don't abuse that.
You really don't, because that burns the bridge, and you don't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Needless to say, me and that person haven't spoken ever
Good.
since. I
wouldn't either.
think it was episode 94 was that person's last episode.
Yeah. You are so funny. You remember. I don't remember any of my episode numbers. You remember yours.
It's like, what's funny is you remember the bad ones. You remember the bad ones. That's the funny part.
True.
That's true. Remember, you can have 100 good ones, but the bad ones, the outliers, the ones where somebody that said something stupid on the podcast, them the ones you remember.
Right.
And those are probably the ones where if y'all listening and y'all haven't been invited back to Liquor Talk, well, you know why.
That's funny. I've heard that before. It makes sense. I mean, why would you invite somebody back you didn't have a good vibe with? That makes sense.
Yes, yes. So luckily these past couple seasons, I've been having a lot of good vibes. So
Good,
I'm definitely gonna have a
good,
lot of people back on. Hell, you
good,
have a damn good vibe your damn self. So
good. Thank you. Thank you. Well, yeah, you know what? Because we vibed when we met. So
yes,
yeah,
we did. We definitely vibed when we met. You know what I'm saying?
you
It
know
was
what was
like,
cool though? You know what was so cool? When we met, we were like, because when you meet somebody, you're like, okay, I got a podcast. What's the name? You had already been following me, and I'd
yeah,
already
I
been
noticed that
following
too.
you.
Yeah, we were
So
already following each other.
that was cool.
I was like, yes, that was cool. And you know what's funny is you're not the only one. It was a handful of people that I walked around. I'm like, oh, damn, I'm gonna follow you too.
Really? Okay. Okay. Cool.
I hope. Don't tell me I was the only one that was for you.
Wait, say it again.
I said, don't tell me I was the only one that you noticed that you already following. Were there people already there?
Ah. Okay. No, I take that back. There is a okay. Q points. You listen to them.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd already been following them. I met them. That's so funny. I met them actually the first night there when we all went out. They were wearing their shirts. And I happened to turn around and I'm like, Q points. I listen to you. So I don't remember if they were following me or not, but I'd already been listening to them. And Anna, of course, I'd already been listening to her. So I'd already been listening to a lot of people that I met. So it was just like a big family. It was a family reunion. It was a
Yes,
family.
it
I
was.
didn't know any of those people, but it was like a family reunion. I felt like I'd known those people for years. It was such a good vibe there. It was so good. It was probably one of the best podfests that I've been to. Because the other ones, they were cool, but it was a typical, you all have common interests, but you just go on, you don't know each other, you don't really try to make any connections. Afros and audios was different.
Yes.
It was special.
Yes, afros and audios so special, and also I think it's because we got to see people that look like us that were in this space,
Well, I've seen people that look like us at a previous one I won't mention that I'd been 2 months prior, but they didn't have that same vibe. It was just like people who had common interest. We just went to different sessions. We didn't really bond like at Afros and Audios.
Yes, you're right. It was definitely a lot of bonding going on and stuff. So I definitely feel you on that.
Felt very welcome. Very welcome.
Yes, I definitely felt very welcome and stuff. So I know next year I will definitely be, later this year rather. I mean, I'll be definitely going to Baltimore.
I'm gonna try on that one because I ain't gonna hold you. Me and Baltimore don't really have the best relationship.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I know 2 people. I know 2 podcasters, and I told them I know 2 podcasters from there. I said only if you go. Well, I'd be there because I just Baltimore. We don't.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel the same way about Atlanta, but hey, it's a long story.
Really?
Yes, I felt that way about Atlanta.
I can believe it because Atlanta's got his ways too. I can believe it.
Yes, I know Atlanta's supposed to be this black mecca, but
I can believe it. Just because it's your own, don't mean that you're gonna be brother to sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll try to make it, but like I said, it really depends on if they go. And I told them if you go, I want to see the receipt that you registered. Because I'm not going. I'm not. I just don't. I don't really. Certain places you go, and certain places you go, you feel comfortable and safe. And I can't say that about Baltimore. I just can't.
Damn. Even if you stick to the damn tourist parts.
That's probably where I went, where I didn't really feel. The few times I've been there, it's just overall vibe I get. Victor, I just didn't really feel. I didn't really feel safe and comfy, and I was ready to go. So it depends, I mean, it really will depend.
I wish they would have picked a little more touristy cities, where there's things to do. Because in my head, I'm like, what is there to do in Baltimore besides go to this damn conference?
Let me tell you something. If it's downtown, well, yeah, of course it's downtown. Have you been to the casino?
I didn't even know Baltimore got a casino.
It is nice. I was impressed with it. That was probably one of the few places I felt safe. It is very nice. Very nice. It was very clean.
Where you felt safe.
It was very nice. I know. It was very nice, very clean. Because I stayed downtown the last time I was there. and the casino was down there. I took a shuttle there. It was nice. Food was good. I had a very good time there. But how can you not in a casino? But still, that's there. I mean, they got some malls. The malls there, but they're, but yeah, their casino. I mean, it's pretty nice.
Were the crab cakes good in Baltimore?
Honestly, don't come at me. I don't really do seafood like that.
It's okay. I know people that are allergic to seafood, so I've had to cut back on seafood because of them people.
But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see about that if I go or not. And when is it? What month is it? Is it summer? August?
It's still October.
Oh, weather's still decent.
Hey, we looked up in Philadelphia. I'm thinking Philadelphia was about to be cold. We got blessed. Blessed.
I'm telling you, when I tell you I did not have a bad experience at all in Philly. I hadn't been in years. Philly's one of my favorite places. It was just good vibes all around. Everywhere I went, good vibes, good people, good food, no complaints. Except it was to get around though was a little bit tough for me because, like I said, I took every mode of transportation there was, so I was a bit tired from that. It kind of helps to stay where the event is.
And that's exactly what I did too. I'm mad the hotel was damn near $700, but I said, hey, it's worth it.
Woo! You stayed at the hotel?
No, I stayed at a hotel that was a couple of blocks away from where the event was.
That area is expensive, so I can imagine.
Yes, it was expensive. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go ahead and do it because I'm not paying for the ticket because they paid for my ticket because I'm speaking. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll go ahead and do it.
Okay. Well, that helps. Okay.
Yeah. But the only thing I didn't like about it, I hated was I didn't get a damn cheesesteak. I didn't get the damn.
You know what? I didn't either, only because the place where I know to go, that when I tell you that line was twice as long as it was the last time I remember, it was wrapped around. I don't do lines like that. So I didn't get a chance. I still ate good, but I didn't get a chance to have one either. You know what I did have, and I know you have one being in Florida. You know what I did have? Don't laugh. This was actually during the conference for lunch. Wawa's.
No, I can't even laugh because I had Wawa too. See, what's funny is I went to Wawa the day I had to speak. I went to Wawa for breakfast. I got their breakfast.
Oh, wow.
The day I had to speak, I got their breakfast.
Okay, let me tell you. A friend of mine from Florida introduced me to Wawa's 2 years ago. He always talked about it. Wawa. I said, what are you talking about? Okay, I said, I didn't think nothing about it. I said, okay, whatever. I went early part of last year, latter part of now it's 2023. Latter part of 2021. I went to Fort Lauderdale where he is, and I said, okay, first place I want you to take me is to this Wawa's. I want to see what you're talking about. I wasn't expecting much. When I tell you, I got there, I don't remember what I had, but when I tell you I fell in love that first bite, and that lemonade, I think it was strawberry lemonade, whatever lemonade it was, I said, you know what? You're right. And so every time I go to Florida, that's the first thing I got to have. Is Wawa. I'm telling you.
You know what's funny about that is Wawa actually originated in like either Philadelphia or New Jersey, one of them places. That's where Wawa originated.
Really?
And they migrated down to Florida. I'm like, damn.
I was shocked. Well, you know what? When I was walking around, there were 2 Wawas near the hotel. So I was shocked. I was glad to see them. They didn't really. It was like they were mini Wawas, but still.
They were. You're right. They were them super tiny Wawas.
But still, I got to enjoy a turkey and dressing sub. When I tell you that made my life. That made up for that cheesecake I didn't get.
Damn. See, the thing is, I was kind of mad though because the Wawa right by the damn hotel closed early. I'm like, ain't this some?
Oh.
I'm like, ain't this some shit? Man. God damn, I was gonna come back to this Wawa, but I'm like, god damn.
Oh my goodness, that place is amazing. They said they were gonna start opening some in Atlanta. We'll see.
Yeah, I know. I know a friend of mine was raving when Jacksonville finally got a Wawa. I was like,
that's where I go. That's where I usually go because I kept my doctor. One of my doctors is in Jacksonville, so I go there, once a year, whatever. And that's the first place I stop is Wawa. I gotta have it now. I couldn't believe when he kept talking about it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's a gas station, whatever. It's like quick stop times 10. Their food, everything, breakfast. Now, the only thing I haven't had was their salads. I heard their salads were good though.
The salads are good, but it just depends on where you get them from. Because some places the salads are good, but they stingy with the salad dressing.
No, I hate that.
Yeah, this big ass salad. You give me these 2 salad dressing, man.
I know it's got to be big. Yeah, no, I'm all about my salad dressing. Don't play around.
Definitely. Also, shout out to everybody watching the NFL playoffs right now. The 49ers are beating the crap out of the Seahawks.
I believe that.
Yes. Listen, the Seahawks were leading at halftime. It's now 38-17. So,
but you know what? I didn't. Well, okay, I take that. I wasn't really paying attention to the Seahawks this season. I didn't really know they were that good to make the playoffs.
Shit, I wasn't paying attention to them either. The only thing I knew about them was when they played my Bucks and they kind of put up a fight. I said, okay.
Who won? Who won that one?
The Bucks beat the Seahawks in Germany. So.
Oh, that's right. They did go to Germany.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
NFL trying to expand this damn game everywhere. I'm
I noticed
that. Want every country to have these damn concussions? Shit.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Because I know Tua is going to be out tomorrow's game. So.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, damn, that's already 1-L for the Florida teams.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But hopefully my Bucks pull out against the Cowboys because I don't know, it just brings me joy to watch the Cowboys lose.
You know what?
I'm
so sick of hearing about. I'm so sick of hearing about those Cowboys. I'm like Stephen. I'm actually like Stephen A. I'm so sick of hearing about them.
Yes. Stephen A. is the one reason I just want the Cowboys to lose because first take is so damn funny when the Cowboys lose.
He'll come in with that hat and do the accent. He'll make his videos. But you ever see it? His videos whenever they lose. He always has to make a video and he's laughing his ass off. That is so funny.
Yes, that is so funny. I'm like, Cowboys.
But you know what? Everywhere you go, I'm telling you, they're like Bill's Mafia. Everywhere you go, you see somebody with a Cowboys jersey on or a hat. Everywhere you go. I wonder if I'm sure there's some Cowboys fans there where you are.
Yeah. Listen, when I was in college, I met some people from South Florida. They Cowboys fans. I'm like, you from fucking Fort Lauderdale.
Are they from there or they just like them? Are they from Dallas?
No, they were from like Fort Lauderdale. These are people I met from Fort Lauderdale. I met some from Jacksonville. I met some from Tallahassee. And they just Cowboys fans. I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all asses ain't nothing to Dallas, but y'all like
right.
Hey, now you can't even tell me a hood in Dallas, but you like the damn Cowboys.
I know. Yeah, there are a lot of Cowboys fans. It's so funny to me. That's funny.
Yes, it is so funny, which is why I love it when they lose. Knock on wood, my Buccaneers. I hope by the time this episode drop, my Buccaneers will whoop their ass.
You know what, Victor? This is what I want you to do. I want you to dig deep in those pockets and go to that game. I want you to really dig deep because that's a big deal to see a playoff, to be in a city where there's a playoff game. That's a big deal. I'm serious. I want you to dig deep because I know you got it like that. And I want you to go.
One day I'm gonna have it like that. But see, the one thing is, I got invited to Podfest, and I already put the money on a hotel. So, where are you going to? Where are you going to watch the game? I might watch the game at a bar. I'm not sure yet.
See, that's the best. Okay, that's the second best thing. Okay.
Yes,
don't sit and watch it at home. That's done. Yeah, you got to watch it out somewhere.
Yeah, that definitely do. I hope you do the same for when the Bills play the Dolphins.
Yeah, you know what? I might not because I'll still be in Atlanta. So it's not really the same when it's not. I mean, granted, Bills Mafia is everywhere. I don't know. I just kind of want to chill tomorrow.
Yeah,
I kind of just want to chill.
I think the buzz in Atlanta is probably gonna be dead because they might still be riding the high of Georgia winning the national championship.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my goodness. I know you saw that game. I was like, my goodness.
I did not. I'm not into college football. I never have been. I mean, when I was in college, but after that, I'm like, no, pros for me.
I feel you on that. I definitely I'm a fam graduate, so of course I'm still gonna rock the fam gear, whenever football season going on. But that was just a brutal beatdown. I know you don't watch it, but
I heard.
It was just a brutal. I'm like, Georgia probably done scored a touchdown by now. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, I heard.
You know it's bad when the backups come in and they start scoring. I'm like, got to be bad.
Yeah.
The goddamn backups, the goddamn third and fourth stringers coming in and scoring on your asses.
Right. Yeah.
That was bad. But Drea, I appreciate you for coming on. But last question though, why you got a dope platform? And you wouldn't have been on Liquor Talk if you didn't have a dope platform. But why do people need to subscribe to the Drea's Point of View podcast?
Because it is short and sweet. Like I said, I don't like taking up people's time because I know time is valuable. And you can listen to mine 10 minutes or less, 3 days a week. Drea's Point of View on all platforms except Twitter. I'm at Drea Point. So yeah, if you want something that's short and sweet that you can get a gem from, mine is the one to check out.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Drea, for coming on Liquor Talk.
Thank you for having me. I loved it.
Yes, I loved it too. Thank you for being the first person from Afros and Audios to come on the podcast. And whenever you want to have me on for one of your short and sweet episodes,
I will.
Remember, I might be in Florida, but I'm just a DM away, so I'll come on.
Okay.
Short and sweet episode, we'll make it happen.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm ready. Let's do it. And thank you to listeners for listening to Liquor Talk. Thank you for pouring up with me and Drea for this conversation. Remember, you can check this podcast out on all platforms, wherever you get your podcasts at. Remember to tell a friend. Keep pouring it up because Liquor Talk is taking up for the 22 and the 23. Until next time, we out this thing. Good night, y'all.
Good night.